everything.
Alright guys, we are back in CodeCademy. Looks like they have a preview for their Learn SASS course here, so let's go ahead and check that out. Your first SASS style sheet. Now SASS is kind of a... how to explain it? It's basically a better way to do styling. It saves you a lot of time, a lot of code. So, right here, it looks like we're importing a font. We're going to need to get our Sas Compiler. So in our main.css, it looks like they want us in the terminal here, in our bash terminal, we're going to basically just initiate our compiler here. I believe that's what's going on here. Alright, so now that we've done that, it's auto-compiled our code. So this is essentially what it's going to look like. Now it doesn't look too different right now because we haven't really done much with it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So this is our output right here. So inside main.css or SCSS, that's how you know it's a Sass file. This is our CSS, this is our Sass file. We want to create a inside of the banner class. So how we would have done this before is we would have created we would have done the styling like this. Now what we want to do is inside our banner we want to create a child that inherits this, but instead what we want to do is inherit everything that's in here, and then we want to do a slogan that has its own stuff. So what do we want? We want the position to be absolute. You're essentially nesting your styling. That's basically what it allows you to do. Not only does it save time, it's a little bit easier to kind of understand what's going on. We're going to add a solid border here. We're then going to add some pixels here. Left width of 50%. Let's change this back to 2%. And I apologize if you guys hear like my fan going. It is miserably hot in California today. So height 200 pixels. Oops, excuse me. Alright, let's run that, make sure we did everything correctly. So it looks like we did. So span the following, span selector inside slogan. So within our slogan here, if it's in the banner and a slogan, we want to then call the span object, and we want to add some stuff as well. So all we're basically doing is saying, look, take everything that's in here and then apply it. It's just like how any of your JavaScript code or any other programming language like nesting would work, except with styling. Let's just go ahead and text dash align, and then they wanted line dash height, and we want to put 200 px. Let's go ahead and run that. Cool. So it inherited everything else, and then we have inside nest the container. So if it's within the container and it has the ID of icon, go ahead and do this. We want to do display inline dash block. We want to give the margin a 2% all around. We want to give it a border of 4 pixels, solid, and black. We want to give it a font dash size of 32px. And again, all we're doing is kind of saving the time from, like, you see right here, redoing everything as we go along. So it's all in one easy to see place. So it's not only limited to IDs. We can also nest a lot of other things. So we're gonna basically set the border property here, and we're gonna do that inside banner. So inside dot banner, go ahead and do it right here, and we want to say border. And it looks like we need to, for border, to put, for when we're targeting things like border, we want to actually put colon in front of it. So we'll do 4 pixels solid and black. And then we also want to add the bottom, 4 pixels solid and black. Just gonna run this. Oh. Okay, so make sure you're zoomed into exactly 100%. You'll see that I got a little bit of an issue there because it had adjusted the font size because I was zooming in for the video. So you may have to, if you zoom in because you're blind as shit like me, you may have to change that up. You also have the ability of creating variables, which is kind of cool. So let's go ahead at the top of here, like you would maybe with a global variable. Let's go ahead and create our variables. We want to create a variable called translucent-white, RGBA. Now this is going to be helpful if you know you're going to reuse a common variable or a common color. In this case, we're creating a color scheme here that we can reuse later on, and we're setting it with the opacity of 30%. So we've created it here. We then want to go to the background dash color. Let's see, where is that? Let's bring that down a little bit. So we're looking for background dash color. Reference a variable as a value for in slogan. Okay, so we're gonna add a background color to slogan, and we're gonna just go ahead and say, look, we already have defined this at top, so we're gonna say translucent dash white. Now this is kind of a long name for something like that, and it's a little hard to see, but it is a little bit translucent here. So let's go ahead and move on. Alright, we're going to create another variable at top. You'll notice that it's all denoted with the $ as we go forward. So we're going to say icon dash square dash length. We're going to put 300 pixels. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy this value, save myself some time. So inside our icon class right here, we're going to set the width to icon square length. Oops, let me actually take that off. And we're going to set the height here to icon square length. Now what's cool about this is if you have a lot of styling, it may be a little bit of a hassle to go through your code and find what is the value you're looking for. So if you actually just store it at the top, it makes it a lot easier down the road. So we're going to create another variable called standard border, and you'll notice that kind of the convention here is to put a dash in between what you're naming. Now this will be helpful just so that if you're working with other people, you're going to want to follow the same general convention. It also makes it easier to read it. Alright, so for all instances that use so we're going to just go ahead and replace all this. So before, when we typed out 4 pixels solid black, what we actually should have done is just create a variable that stores what it is that we would need for that. Save you a little bit of time, a little bit of thinking. What did I put for the border again? How did I do it? You just have a variable that you reference. Nice. So it looks like we did our first lesson here. We were able to kind of understand nesting. Now, it shouldn't be that complicated. of a thing to get started. The hardest part will probably be getting your, if you're using this not on a thing like CodePen or CodeCademy, is actually getting your compiler onto your site if you're not familiar with that. In terms of nesting, it should be pretty straightforward. Instead, like slogan right here is the equivalent of .banner.slogan, and you don't have to retype some of the code. It just kind of brings everything in a little bit, and variables. So next we're going to actually be going over Sas Data Types, numbers, string, booleans, nulls, lists, and maps. So as always, guys, thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon. It's really cool. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. It helps me out a ton, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. My good friend Matt at Engineered Truth has a 3-part interview with Quincy Larson, the founder of Free Code Camp. Go ahead and check that out, and you'll get a lot of really cool stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.